Greetings, beautiful people. Alright, so you know how we live life every day and we start to always say, oh, you know, everybody's an extension of you, and we mirror each other, but we don't really realize that, you know, to such an extent. I mean, let me tell you something. I had this, we were watching, look, me and my girl and my son, we were watching a movie last night, and you know, my girl started crying at the end of the movie. And I started giggling. I'm like, you know, you're so sensitive and stuff like that. And, you know, I do, let's say, videos and I talk about all this stuff. I mean, do I think I know it all and stuff like that? Because it's kind of like I tell her, look, you know, your body doesn't know the difference between a real emotion, a real experience and a fake experience. You know, it's basically just looking at it as you know, as an observer, and you know, basically don't let your body guide you, you guide your body. And we'll talk about the video game theory and stuff like that in a second. But in reality, you know what, I just realized I'm like an exact mirror image of her, because she made me realize this. And it's crazy because, see, she's very emotional. We had a conversation in the car earlier and she started crying, and I don't know what it is. I get annoyed when I see her crying. I'm like, yo, why do you freaking cry? It's not that serious. Like, why the hell do you cry? Like, whatever. I mean, just, we had a discussion, like, don't take it so serious, or you take what I say serious, you know. And I realize sometimes I like when I talk with passion sometimes. So I see her crying and then I get annoyed, and I'm very grateful for the experience I had, but she made me realize, you know what, you do the same thing. You are very sensitive as well when somebody cuts you off on the road, or when somebody answers you a certain way, and it even happens with family members and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I get angry easily, and the thing is that when I was coming to this awakening of this awareness, I was more conscious of that, and I let things slide. And then all of a sudden, now I get into a more empowered state, and certain things kind of just slip by the cracks, like kind of like those things where we let emotions, such as like getting angry for dumb shit, like if somebody cuts me off on the road, or if somebody answers me a certain way. Everybody to some extent is still a mirror image of you, and it doesn't have to be in a direct way. But I realize this because I get into a fight and an argument with, you know, family members of mine, because they answered me a certain way, and in reality, there's reasons why I'll detach from certain people, but it's because certain people may be in the state that I'm in, where it will be like if I'm in my ego space and then somebody else is kind of like in that same space. What I realized and noticed is that our egos kind of challenge each other. You know what I mean? Like one tries to have one up on the other. This is why I'll disconnect. But it's about realizing and being aware. You see, consciousness and awareness is really just being aware of the things that are going on, so that you don't feed your energy into that. See, we feed our energy into the smallest, dumbest shit. Sometimes even just paying attention to how others may be struggling to some extent. Maybe you just need to let them be, all right? Because a lot of the times we'll put so much energy into, you know, earning money, but then we start putting money into these people where they're in that state for a reason, is because their mind state and their mentality is in a state where it's keeping them in that same vibration. But you, let's say, giving them money ain't really gonna help them progress unless their mentality changes anyway. So it comes down to, for example, like if you was to have a genie, okay, and the genie would tell you, you have one wish, all right, use it wisely. The majority of people would probably ask for material wealth, material riches, $1 million, or a big house, or fancy cars and stuff like that. All right, but if your mindset is all broken, okay, you'll probably lose all that money. Or how would that change you in a state where you would feel fulfilled? It would probably get rid of a lot of debt and a lot of bills that you may have, get rid of a lot of stress. But if your mentality is still in a broke mentality, you probably will still come back to that original state. Okay? See, what is real abundance, for example, would be, wouldn't you want to see things for what it really is? Take the filters out. Okay? Man, how do I explain this? Maybe, you know, and it's self-empowerment. Your mentality is in the right place where you're in an abundant mind state. Because the thing is, people say, what is one wish for me to succeed in life? But what is success to one person may not be success to another. Okay? Somebody may only have $10,000 in the bank and they might feel like they're in a successful state. And then somebody who has $10 million in the bank may feel like they're failing in life because their projects ain't coming out the way they want to. And they probably got so much shit piled on that they got a lot more responsibilities that they have to respond to, that those $10 million ain't really a lot of money to that person. Where in reality, somebody may be a little bit more simple, a little bit more, you know, that $10,000 is really like they got a lot of money in the bank for them at that moment in time. So it comes down to seeing life for what it is. How fucking cool would it be if you can just come in and out of body at will, okay? Take the lenses off when you want to and see what you need to do and then put them back on and then play the game for what it is. All right? Well, honestly, and then if you could do that, I mean, you're always going to be in an abundant state because you can see things for what it is. You can kind of gauge and make decisions the way you're supposed to, okay? There's people who know how to play this game, which is why those people are empowered. Like those people who have, let's say, the controllers, okay? They created the money system, the monetary system, the banks and all that type of stuff. They're empowered for a reason, but because they're able to know how the thing works, how this shit works from the inside out, okay? See, you only look at it from the outside. So you think the material wealth is all you need. And then when you have the material wealth, and then you come to, see, those people who may have, they wish the genie gives them the material wealth, and then let's say it comes to a point where they take those lenses off and see that what the material wealth they wasted that one wish on is really shit. There ain't nothing there. You get what I'm saying? So they wasted that one wish all due to ignorance because they didn't know any better. Now, the mirror image of something that I see, this is the thing. From that experience, I'm very appreciative. I'm in a grateful, and I'm in such an abundant state now because I was able to realize that, because now I can work on that and see things very clearly from that point of view. But me talking to her, thinking that I know any better, she kind of shut me up and told me what it is with tears in her eyes. Fuck, was that awesome, I'm telling you. And I said, you know what, you're absolutely right. Because I recently got into an argument with family members of mine only because they answered me a way that I didn't like. Look at the video game theory. So I'm having a conversation with her where, you know, your body doesn't know the difference between a real and a fake experience and whatnot. But the same way that I spoke about energy can't be transmuted, it can only be transferred, which is why I say that eating the animal meat doesn't favor you, because if you know, I've spoken about, you know, the animals are in cages, they're domesticated, and you know, the farmer or the people who, you know, the slaughter, when they slaughter the animal, even that energy signature is what you're transferring in. But if we go even further back, all right, we talk about why the you know, the animals, when you hunt them in the wild, you're eating a different type of energy signature than you would if these animals were domesticated. You see, the reason why we're domesticated animals is because we're eating a domesticated energy of the animal. The animal, even their basic primal, and all their instincts are all dormant because they're not in their survival state in the wild. They're in cages depending on a farmer to give them food. So it's the same thing here. Now, if we want to look at a video game theory, let's talk about it. All right, let's say if I'm playing a video game and I'm controlling the avatar, I technically would be the consciousness of the avatar. But let's say, see, the way we're looking at it is like the avatar is basically telling us, no, this is how it works, you know, and in the video game, right? So let me make it clear. So the avatar that we're playing, let's say it's Metal Gear Solid. I love that game. Or let's say Batman. Let's just say Batman. So Batman, all right, and it's like, instead of me controlling the character of Batman through the video game, the character of Batman is telling me where to go. Instead of me controlling him with a controller, he's telling me where he's gonna go. But then again, does he really know anything about the game, right? Because if anything, let's say for example, he doesn't know anything about the game yet because we're just starting the game now. But then again, do I know anything about the game even though I'm the consciousness of Batman? I don't know anything about the game. I'm trying to figure out the game through Batman. So who really knows what's up would be the creator of the game. But then again, the game was created for a system, which would be, let's say, PS4. But then who created the PS4 just created the system, but then somebody created the game of Batman for the system of PS4. So in reality, I, as the consciousness, am still trying to figure this shit out, right? But then the subconscious would be like the collective, let's say, right? Where we are all still collectively tapped in, right? It's just fucking hard to explain, but I'm guessing that the way I've explained it up until now, you kind of get what I'm saying. So if we're all connected and we are all an extension of each other, okay? Basically all thought starts from the ethers. We pull that shit down here into reality, but it's all about who knows how to go there to pull it and bring it down. It's like a really, see, I watched this video by Travis Majors, LVX777. Now, man, he's been coming out with some crazy shit because it's kind of resonated with me, but he said something that was extremely valuable. He said that it has to be your focus when you're trying to manifest something or when you're trying to bring something into existence. You have to like have a laser sharp focus, kind of like a water stream, mainly like, you know, like if you could power a turbine if you have a direct stream of water, okay? But can you do that with like a heavy rain shower? You can't, because it's scattered water, okay? And this shit makes sense. You can still collect water in a cup, you can still get wet, but it is not the same direct current as if you were getting a straight flow of water to power a turbine instead of just a big scattered rainstorm. So it's kind of the same thing when it comes down to the focus of how to wield things into existence here. So whoever can really bring that laser sharp, you know, get that laser sharp focus and bring that down, that's how it's going to be wielded here. Now we can tap into that and we all have access to that. But the thing is, we got a lot of distractions outside of us. That would be the rain showers. We see our water, our focus goes into so many different areas that we can't bring it into one laser sharp, you know, focus to power that turbine, to bring whatever we want into existence. And this is why. But how do you strengthen your focus? Through meditation. Because your brain is like, it needs to exercise like a muscle. So my girl, she's telling me, oh, it's that, you know, sometimes I get too lazy to think, but it's not that. I told her you can't become a great thinker just overnight. You got to like work on it. But at the end of the day, it still has to be a passion of yours. You can't force somebody to you know, to do things. You could just plant the seeds and just, you know, kind of like just talk. There's a balance between her and I noticed that there's a really, really big balance between her and I. And this is why I learn from her and she learns from me. So rather than always having the arguments, you can kind of see where you balance each other at, and this is where it starts to become a really healthy relationship, okay? But a lot of people don't realize that certain times, whenever there's disagreements, there's a lot of jewels in those disagreements. This is why I talk about when you see the connectivity and everything, you can kind of see the conductivity and everything, all right? So I got inspired to make this video from that little discussion we had, and I hope this video resonates with, you know, some of you, whoever may watch it. And, you know, hopefully I did explain this clearly where you kind of understand what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying, because it kind of makes sense to me that, you know, when you're aware of being aware, just being aware of the situations that are happening. Like I even told her, I'm like, yo, like watching the movie last night, I even felt a little emotional toward the end of the movie. We were watching Creed 2, and you know, and I told him, like, you know, I'm like, yo, I see what's going on. I see what's going on, you know, but just being aware. It's kind of like if you have an employee at work and the employee stealing from you, which is like, boop, you shed light on it. You saw it. Now you can fire him or you can correct it. One of the two, whatever the hell you decide to do, it's your business. And it's kind of like that. Now, did you see, an emotion is an energy emotion, but did you feed that emotion into something? So it's kind of like it's not bad to feel that emotion, but the fact that you caught it and you were aware of it, you didn't feed that emotion into whatever it was that you were paying attention to. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to live this experience. I love this experience because we're living life to the fullest. Be you to the fullest. That's why I say beautiful people, okay? This is the reason behind. You see, a lot of people will look at beautiful people. Let's say, because I'm coming out with that beautiful people, but beautiful people it's not the way where we're looking at it as in a vanity way. Because I watch wrestling, like I watch, you know, I used to watch TNA, and it's just about beautiful people, like just the vanity part of it. But beautiful people, the way I look at it, is from a totally different space than the person outside will look at it. So this is what I'm saying. There's always going to be like a misunderstanding, but it's just about looking at the connectivity and everything. Okay, so when I say beautiful people, is being you to the fullest, but beautiful is the way I would look at just life. When you look at life a certain way, everything just starts to look beautiful. Now, I'm putting this out. I don't have no grudges against anybody, all right? And I see right now why certain things happened and why I reacted to certain things, because I reacted, you know what I mean, or overreacted, and we're all acting here at the end of the day. But then, you know, I realized that you lose energy like that. You lose energy, and it's like that energy is valuable energy that you can use toward you creating and manifesting things here into this reality. And I'm realizing this little by little. Okay, and this is why, just be wise with your energy. Your energy is your legit bank account. So whatever you're paying attention to, okay, make sure that you're getting something back that's a service to you, so that you can empower yourself, and then you are empowering yourself, which is the extensions of you. You are self, and everything outside of you is yourself. Yourself. It's kind of like I say your car, but you're not your car, right? Those people outside of you are extensions of you. And it's not to say that they're your property, but they are your self, which means self is you, all is self, and then you pay attention to the people outside of you. That's extensions of you, is yourself. Some things you may not need at the moment, some things you may, okay? There's certain things that may not serve you, certain things that you do, because people are always going to be selling to you. But don't forget, okay, the way I see things, where certain random things just happen, okay, it's just like a NPC or a random empty vessel that's just playing in the system, okay, and it's there to distract you. And these are just theories again, but it's just for you to think, all right? But listen, this is what I've came to realize. Man, you have to empower yourself. You have to do things where you are like paying attention to yourself. You really gotta like build a strong relationship with yourself. And you won't, there's not gonna be any like this. You're gonna see this illusion of separation is just fucking bullshit. Okay? It's bullshit. Your life, if you're not happy in your life right now, okay, you are projecting this from the inside. Everything that's happening, you are in charge. You're the one in charge. You're charging it. So if you are something not going your way, you really gotta now go really like deep within. Sit with yourself. You could sit in the sun. I'll tell you right now, I've had some crazy shit happen while I was just, and I'm sitting, all right? I'm laying down and I'm letting the sun beam on me, but my eyes are closed. And I'm putting a lot of focus into the colors of red, orange, and yellow. And I'm looking at it where, and this is where my mind, I'll start, man. And then the ego like kind of grabs you when you're just kind of you're going somewhere, you're drifting into something. Your ego grabs you, and you got to learn how to just. This is where you become. You got to learn how to guide your body. You got to be kind to yourself. You just control your breathing because you want to let go. You want to surrender, but this is what I'm coming to a realization, is that you have to just surrender to certain things and just let certain things play out. Unity is one of the biggest keys here. Unity. Just the fact that I was able to have an argument or a discussion with my girl earlier, all right? We both realized that we both literally helped each other realize something. And this is just how it happens with everybody outside of you, okay? But get out of the ego and just observe things that are happening. Observe these emotions and feelings that are happening, and be kind to yourself. It's not about restriction. It's not about like suppressing anything. It's not about that. You gotta be. Let's say if I feel an emotion, what I do is I just feel it. But why am I feeling it? You kind of like you be kind to yourself, and I've been talking to myself literally, and I've been saying, control my breathing, and I say it's okay. It's okay. This is an experience, and something is happening within, but it's not to say everything exactly that outside happens is happening within. That's not what I'm saying, okay? But like I said, pay attention to yourself. When you do, it's not about things just directly communicating with you. You're just gonna have an inner knowing. You're gonna just know. You're gonna just know. You're gonna know. Like I said, don't be taught what to think. Learn to think for yourself. Okay? You're here in this realm to do something. Do you see bees? They do what they need to do. You're not telling a bee what to do. You're not telling birds what to do. You're not telling any of these insects what to do. We're the only species here. We're supposed to be the most evolved, and we're being told what to do and how to think. Eventually, you're going to know what you need to do automatically when you just stop following the crowd and do what you need to do and do what makes you happy. I like gardening, so I'm going to garden. Okay? I'm going to do what makes me feel good. If I notice that what I'm doing, I feel good and I'm vibrating high, I'm going to keep doing that. If I notice that what I'm doing is not making me happy, then I'm going to, and let's say if it's work, then do something on the side that you can work on to make it grow, to eventually get you out of the place where you even have to work. You maybe know you don't have to work anymore. But this is where the laser focus attention needs to go to. This is why I say focus on self. If you're not happy with your job, find something that you're happy with, but do what you like on the side. Because this is the thing, you have to have an intent on how you're sharing your time and energy throughout the day. Share your time and energy throughout the day accordingly, and eventually you're going to come to a space where you're putting so much energy and attention and laser sharp focus to what you want to do, that eventually what you don't like to do originally will just fall off your life. So like, share, and subscribe, and we'll talk soon.